What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino getting at y'all on this Sunday evening. This evening or afternoon. Somebody tell me the difference between evening and afternoon. I know nobody's on here yet, but when does afternoon end and evening begin? I'll bring that question back up when a few people jump on. But I want to go into this topic today because, in my opinion, it's pretty serious. And like I said, I'll wait for a few people to start jumping in before I get deep into it. But what I would ask y'all to do as y'all come in, I'd ask y'all to hit the like button as y'all come in. Click that like, man, as y'all come in, because we're going to really, really go into this one today. And because I think it's something that needs to be addressed. I was inspired to do this topic based on something that I saw and the way people were reacting to it. But of course, I can't do it without y'all's opinions, without y'all's viewpoint on it as well. So we'll go straight into it, man. I feel like it's enough of y'all to get right into it. When somebody passes away, everybody who is connected to that person, they deal with the loss of that person differently, and they deal with it in their own way. And typically they deal with it in whatever way that seems to naturally spark up out of them. There are people who, the minute they get the news, they just lose it. They start breaking down, screaming and crying, and they just come unglued. There are other people who internalize it, they process it, they think, reflect. There are other people who go beyond the person, even though they love the person, but they start thinking about the person's children. Like, oh my gosh, what are the children going to do? Oh my gosh, how are we going to tell little man that his mom's gone? Or, those are the thoughts that some people go through. There are other people who deny it. They go into denial. No, this can't be real. Nope, I ain't trying to hear it. I can't accept that. So those are just a few of the reactions and the responses that come up in people when they lose somebody that's close to them, when they lose a loved one. It extends. Well, let me stop right there. Let me go back. A long time ago, one of my favorite TV shows of all times was a show called Good Times. And some of y'all might remember Good Times if you're old enough. Some of y'all may be too young and y'all don't know what Good Times is. But in the show Good Times, as many of you may know, that was a father, a mother, and 3 children, JJ, Michael, and Thelma. For the first couple of seasons of the show, 2 or 3 seasons, I'm assuming, it was the mother and the father running the family. After a couple of seasons, due to contract disputes, the actor who played the father, he was written out of the show, and the way he was written out of the show was to kill off his character. So James Evans was dead. And that was a big thing back in the days, man. Oh my gosh, it was terrible when James died. But the episode that they ran when the father died, the mother, who was the husband, who lost her husband, she showed no pain, no sadness. She didn't seem to be grieving in any way. They had a little get together at the house, and everybody was there eating food and all that. She was smiling and laughing, and as if she was just at a regular dinner party, right? So her children, who were not babies, they were older children, they observed this and they looked at their mother and they were like, what's wrong with mama? Why is she not crying? Why she just over there smiling and giggling? And the daughter Thelma, she got mad, like, you know, she felt some kind of way about it, because her thought process was, look, if this is your husband, this is our dad, and we just lost him in an unexpected, tragic fashion, how can you be laughing and smiling and giggling and grinning, right? Eventually, she cracked. The mother cracked. She couldn't take it anymore, because the whole time that she was smiling and laughing and socializing with people, she was really suppressing her pain, how she really felt about the loss of her husband. And it built up and she cracked. And that's when you saw the famous scene where she took the little glass punch bowl and smashed it on the ground and said, damn, damn, damn. Y'all remember that? I know y'all remember that. Shout out to the homie Marvin, man. I appreciate the love and the blessing, the donation. The homie Marvin Stroud, man. Respect to you, brother. Out there in Ohio. But she let it all out. She released it in that moment because she had been holding it in. And we all know that holding anything in only builds the pressure up. You shake up a bottle of soda. You just shake it. Then that pressure builds up. When that top comes off. But some people, they take it in stride like that. And that's how they actually take it. So in the moment, the children were judging how the mother was grieving or showing her reaction to the loss of their father, and they had a problem with it. And even though her response in that moment was not authentic, she was just kind of just getting by because she had people over there. She was probably just suppressing it. There are some people who actually process it that way. And it's not our place to tell somebody how they should grieve, because we're all different. I was watching, this is a sensitive subject. I was watching our brother DC Young Fly, and I was watching him speaking at the funeral of his child's mother, who unfortunately passed away recently. And they have 3 very young, really young children, right? And he stood up, and in my opinion, he stood up really strong as a man and gave and spoke a word that I might not have been able to speak in that moment, because everybody's different. We've all been to funerals where people will get up and talk, and you have some people that were super close to the person that passed away, and they can get up and they can just talk like they're at a business meeting. But you have other people, they'll get up and try to talk and they can't even get it. It's just too emotional for them. Can't get it out. And you have other people like me who would even try. I'm not even going to try. But he stood there, and in my opinion, you can form your own opinion, but in my opinion, he spoke in a way that reflected his relationship with the mother of his children. So people, I saw a few comments where people were critical, saying that, well, he was too nonchalant. Oh, he was too, that's not how you speak about the mother of your children. You seem like you didn't really care. And that's basically the premise of a lot of the comments. Well, some of the comments, a lot of more comments than not commended him on how he spoke. And I'm in that group. Because we don't know the nature of their relationship. So you see somebody may speak about a friend that they lost, family member. One person will speak in one way, and then when somebody else comes up there, they got everybody in the funeral laughing because of the way that they spoke based on their relationship. Oh man, this before I tell you, man, I ain't gonna lie, one time, man, I wanted to slap that boy upside his head, and everybody started laughing. He laying in the casket. And there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion, because a person who transitions from this life on, that doesn't change how y'all got down when y'all were both together in this world. That's still your boy. Those memories that you had with him are still the same. And more than that, you know him. You know her. So you know how they would want you to be at their funeral. Let's just keep it real. That's why you see a lot of people who are among the living, they will say things like, hey man, I don't want y'all all crying and sad at my funeral. Man, y'all want y'all to still have fun, man, crack jokes, party out. People say that because they like to let people know, hey, man, don't be acting all like that. Because you know how they would want it. So you may hear, and I've been to funerals where you may hear people saying certain things, and I'm looking at the person in the box, and I'm like, he wouldn't even, man, that dude ain't even tripping on that. So when you look at it from that angle, it should give you a sense of comfort, because I know this dude. I know this lady. She ain't tripping like that. She glad everybody here, but she don't feel like y'all should be just, but if that's your process, can't judge. So to hear people to hear people that don't know either one of them personally, you don't know either one of those people, and you are telling them or telling him how he should be acting about the loss of his child's mother, his friend, his companion. You don't know their relationship. He may have said something that he knows she would have laughed at by him saying it, but you may look at it like, ooh, that was inappropriate. Well, that may be inappropriate with you and your connection to whoever you may be dealing with. But we can't assess everybody off of us. And we make that mistake just in everyday life because we have this thought in our mind that our opinions are the same, should be the same all the way across the board with every individual, every age demographic, every race, every nation, every language. You should think about this. You should view this the way I view it. And if you don't see it the way I see it, then there's something wrong with you. No, that's not how it works. No, everybody has a process. That's why when you attend somebody's memorial service, you see different reactions from different people. It's 100 people in the church. But this person, he's sitting there smiling. He's shaking hands and this one has got their head down their hands and they can't control it. It's crying. Now, do we always have that overly dramatic family member who wants to dive into the casket? I'm going to. Like, no, you ain't. Yeah, we have that. Do you have the people who try to make it be about them? They get up and speak and they talking for 35, 40 minutes and they talking about themselves, and it's like, yeah, you got that. Do you have the people who are at the funeral who really didn't care anything about the person that's in the casket, but they there playing it off and faking it, or low-key glad that the person's gone? You have that. Yeah, you got that. But those are things that you can't control either, unless you just know that and then tell that person you're not allowed to come. But in a situation where people are naturally mourning in the fashion that they mourn, leave people alone, man. Leave people alone to deal with and process that loss the way that they do it. How dare you or me try to tell somebody, hey, he ain't cry. She wasn't crying enough, man. I knew she ain't love that man. She ain't love that man. She ain't even cry. Well, how do you know that she haven't been crying all week? She may have been crying all week. So by the time you get to the actual service, you got a lot of that out. Not to say more can't come or won't come, but you got a lot of that out. Because some people, depending on how close the person was to you, this is what we got to understand. If you lose somebody that's super, super close to you, you may be the one that's in charge of arranging the service. And I say that because if you are the one that has to take care of it, man, I gotta find these insurance policies, man. I gotta call the funeral home. A lot of times you don't even have time to process and grieve because you got to spring right into action to make sure that your loved one got a proper burial. So a person who's doing nothing but sitting around and grieving in their own way, then they look at you, she not even, or he not even. Hey, man, that person had work to do. That person had to make sure that their loved one gets the right kind of care and send off, and they got to take care of the business. Didn't have time like you did, to ball up in the corner and cry for 3 days straight. Didn't have time to do that. So you can't judge and try to point fingers at people in those types of situations, because you don't know what's in everybody's mind. And like I said earlier, the person you see hollering, screaming, and crying, theirs could be an act. Not saying everybody's is, but it's going to be a couple of those they acting. Because a funeral for some is an opportunity to put on a show. For some, it's an opportunity to put on a show. Oop, this is my moment. This is my performance. I go on in 15 minutes. Soon as they open the floor up, the people can come up and speak, and soon as they open it up, where we can come around and view the body. Oh, showtime, baby. It's people that think like this, people that are like that. I can go back to the TV show Good Times. There was a lady on Good Times, her name was Wanda. And she would go to anybody's funeral. She'd just show up at any funeral and just be crying. She just crying, never met the person before in her life. She just crying. Just crying. One time she stopped crying. We're like, whose funeral is this? Because that's how some people are. They want to make it be about them. But I'm of the opinion that if you decide to try to criticize the way somebody is really grieving, and you take the time to make a statement like that or post a comment like that, you making it about you too. Not one comment like that is including condolences, or not even saying, well, you know what, I might feel this way, but it's not appropriate for me to say that. We don't even think. We just put it out there. I didn't like the way he talked about her. That was just insensitive. That was just, you don't know them. She might have busted out laughing at something he said because he knows her. So you making this about you because you're trying to impose your belief of how things should be on the whole world. I can't go to a restaurant. I see it's 41 people in here, right? It's 41 people in this chat right now I'm looking at. So if all of us go out to eat together, right? How would I look placing my order and then telling y'all that y'all should order the same thing I order? Hey man, how come you didn't order salmon and asparagus? What's that you got? Your way is different. Your appetite is different. Your taste buds are different. We got to get out of that, man. Because I'm going to leave you alone to deal with something the way you deal with it. Some people isolate. Some people you don't even see them. Say, man, hey man, y'all check on Johnny, man. Well, I ain't talked to him. He ain't been answering his phone since his mom passed. Somebody check on him, man. I'm getting worried. But Johnny was all right. He couldn't be around people right now. He's like, I can't see, everybody is different. Some people in a moment of loss like that, some people have to be around family. I got to go to my family, man. They got to get that love and absorb that love. They got to be around their people. Other people are the opposite. Some people are like, I don't want to talk to nobody, cutting my phone off, don't come by my house. They isolate. But whatever your way is, as long as it's not detrimental to you in terms of like, okay, I lost my loved one, now I'm gonna kill myself. No, as long as there's nothing on that level, hey man, I'm gonna leave you alone. I may reach out, check on you. But when you tell me, hey man, I'm good, I don't want to be around nobody right now. That's all you gotta tell me, and I'm gone. All right, bro. Well, hit me when you need me, man, and I'm gone. I'm not gonna argue with you. Hey, no, man, you need to get out, man. No, man. I'm coming over there, man. We gonna go hang out. Nah, man. You don't want to do that. When they ready, they'll come out. They'll reach out, and you can still check on them 2 or 3 days. Yeah, hey, just send them a text. Hey, man, just checking on you, man. Keep your head up. Whatever you say. But all this getting mad and getting teed off at people because they not grieving the way you think they should grieve. They not crying the way you think they should cry. They ain't cry hard enough. They ain't come down the aisle of the church doing backflips, grandstanding. All About the Culture says, I disassociate. We don't know what people do. You may go into prayer, man. Hey, God, I need you to really, really get me through this one. Because if you were close to the person, and see, this happens a lot with, like when young children, when children lose their parents early, it turns their whole life upside down. Because you may go from a 2-parent household to now just 1 parent trying to hold it down. And that parent is grieving, and that child is grieving. The child may not understand fully, like, man, what's going on? Now, all these different opinions are being put into the child's head. Or even worse, if a child is in a single parent household and that single parent passes away, now the child's life is uprooted. Got to figure out, okay, is he gonna go stay with his auntie? Is he gonna, he got to go live with grandma? Or what if nobody wants to take him in? You had that a lot. You got families, man, that'll let a child go by the wayside because nobody wants to take him in. Well, I got 3 kids already. I can't bring him in. I know that's their cousin, and now this child's life is uprooted. So it doesn't make it any better when you come in with all these different opinions, and then you got people who will say negative things about the person who passed away to their loved one. Well, your daddy was on that dope. See, that's why I tell you all the time. I don't want to hear that. In that moment, you don't want to hear that. Your mama was, I tried to tell your mama she was out there. Told her to leave that dude alone. Let me read some of y'all comments. I'm going to go into y'all comments earlier than usual. Trying to find something. A lot of y'all like to get off subject. We're not entertaining anything off the subject today. Castro says, some people make it clear for you to carry on and celebrate. Don't stagger one step. That's a fact. See, if you claim you know somebody while they here, you know them when they gone. So you pretty much know what they would want you to do and how they would want you to be. Now, the ones who bless us enough to tell us beforehand, they let you know, hey man, when my time come in, I want y'all to have a party. See? Because who would want people to just be just depressed and sad forever? People understand, okay, I know you're gonna feel bad, for a while, but hey man, get back up, keep doing what you're doing. Some people lose their whole this life while they're still breathing life. Like they don't even want to do it. They stop chasing their dreams. And in situations like that, like I said, if it's something where people may get suicidal or they just give their whole life up because they felt they can't go on without that person, then there are moments where you can intervene to try to wake this person up to get them going. But that part of the process they may need a little help with, because you don't want somebody. You got to let people know, hey man, bro, your mama wouldn't want you to just give up on life. You know that. Sometimes you got to give people that boost. Mars One says mourning is case by case. Yeah, person by person, case by case, individual by individual. Everybody's different. Travis Atkins says, that's what I always say. Let them deal with it how they want to deal with it. And this is for people who we all know. Okay, we all know the person, right? But for me, when I see people talking about people they don't even know, they may be mentioning celebrities and how they did. Man, you don't know them people. And some of the insensitive things that people say. Oh man, he sacrificed his wife. He sacrificed his baby mama. Why always y'all go to, not y'all, just hypothetical in general. Why is it always people's go to when a celebrity loses a loved one? Oh, they sacrificed him. She sacrificed him. Do I believe that could possibly be something that goes on in this industry? You know how I am on the industry. Yeah, there's a part of me that believes that has happened, or there may be occasions where that is propositioned or presented or possibly happened. But y'all reach too much sometimes. Every situation is he sacrificed his grandmother. No, man, his grandmother was 93 and she fell. He didn't sacrifice his grandmother, man. Sacrificed his little brother. No, his little brother was in a gang, man. And he was out there buck wild in the streets and it caught up to him. He didn't sacrifice his little brother. We got to have the power of discernment and have some sensitivity when somebody loses a loved one to not instantly try to look for some type of breaking conspiracy story to apply to it and be insensitive to the fact that somebody just lost their loved one. I know some of y'all don't like when I talk like that. Y'all don't like that because y'all want the sensationalism to be attached to every single thing. Is Hollywood sick? Yep. Is it perverted? Yep. Are they some nasty, satanic, rapists, racist pieces of trash that run it? Yep. But everybody don't dance that dance, man. A lot of people don't dance that dance. And you lose people every day. So we read stuff into stuff because other people read stuff into stuff. And you liked how it sounded. You like, that is possible. Wob says they have what they call professional grievers you can hire. I wish I was lying. Wow. I feel like I heard of that, but what would be the purpose of that? Why would I want to hire a professional griever? Hey man, I need you to come cry at my uncle's funeral, man. I don't understand what the purpose of that would be. Now, Maria, I just lost my cousin a couple of weeks ago, still grieving. Blessings to you, condolences to you and your family. And that's the thing. But one thing that I haven't mentioned yet, that I'll be remiss if I don't mention, is that in those times where we grieving and mourning the loss, and this is something that DC Young Fly said, that when he said it, I was like, yeah. See, God is the only reality in this existence. Neither you, me, the dog, your pet monkey, fish in the ocean, it's all just passing. So when you lose that person first, when that person checks out before you, you're going to feel the loss, you're going to feel the pain of it. But your mind also should immediately or real quickly detour in the direction of God to understand that all this belongs to him. You say the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. That represents people too. And when you reflect on the fact that he's the only reality and that the people that we have in our life, we only get to borrow them for a time. We only get to borrow and have them just for a little while. They don't belong to us. We don't even belong to us. You don't belong to you. You belong to the Creator who created you. So an appreciation has to follow the news of the loss. We should be found to be thankful that the Creator blessed us with that person for the time that they blessed us with. So however long you had your cousin, Nama, I thank God for that time. Because people lose people at different times and stages of life. I got a homie. He just lost his mother recently. He might be in the chat. Or he might show up a little later. My SPC brother. I ain't gonna say his name till I see him. But he's 55 years old. So he had his mother for 55 years. And in that understanding, he had an opportunity to see what is supposed to be the natural progression of life unfold, meaning that the child should bury the parent, not the parent burying the child. So the gratitude of knowing, well, man, I had my mother for 55 years. That's something you pay homage to God for, like, man, that's amazing. But on the flip side of that, I remember being about 9 or 10 years old. Don't ask me why I got a battery in my hand. I remember being about 9 or 10 years old, living in an apartment complex, and my immediate next door neighbor lived right across, like this is our apartment, and right across the little walkway, boom, that was his apartment. We the same age. Ambulance comes, takes her out. It was just him and his mother, single mother, him and his mother living at a apartment. She passed away. I never saw him again. I don't know what, to this day, I don't know what happened. I don't know whatever happened to him. I don't know if he had to go live with somebody. I have no clue. He had his mother for 9 or 10 years. This dude is still a baby, basically. You in elementary school, dude. You in the 3rd or 4th grade, and you lose your mother. So now, if he's still with us, he has lived decades and decades of time, way more time without his mother than he had his mother. He may barely remember. He only may remember certain aspects of his mother. It ain't saying like he was 2 years old, but still. I lost my grandmother when I was 12. I remember a lot of aspects of my grandmother, but it's other things that it's, as time passes, it kind of escapes you. It's like, man, you can't even pull the sound of the voice because it's been so long. But if you had somebody 35, 40 years, 20 years, oh, you know them, man, you know it's inside out. You know how they think. You know what they would laugh at. You know what jokes they would find funny. You know that certain things you say, they would understand. They wouldn't find those things inappropriate because you know that person. Then somebody comes along and says, how could you say that? How could you say that? Our mother's gone, and you're gonna say, man, look, man, hey, man, I know mama, I know daddy, I know uncle. Quit being so dramatic. You grieve the way you want to grieve, but I don't care if it's a mother that had 9 children. A mother could love her 9 children all the same, but her relationship with those 9 are gonna be different. You can have a homie that passed away, and 15 of y'all, all y'all hung out together. Y'all relationships are different. Some of y'all a little more closer than others. Some of y'all, there's certain things that you could say to him that that one couldn't say, and vice versa. Certain things that he knew that you didn't know or she didn't know. It's all twisted and mixed up. But that's what makes the whole what it is. So we can't get caught in the mindset of feeling like, well, hey man, I knew him, man. He you know him on that level, but I can't judge how our other partner knew him. That's why people find things out later. Well, man, I didn't know that he had bought land. I didn't know he owned that. Yeah, he didn't tell you because he knew what kind of Negro you was. But he told the responsible. That's like what a lot of parents do, grandparents do. So they pass away. Man, daddy had $400,000 put up. Why daddy didn't tell me? Because you was the one. You'll be trying to get to it. You'll be trying to get to it and run through it. So daddy didn't tell you because daddy knew you. So daddy told the responsible child, hey, this is how I want you to handle this, blah, blah, blah. I want you to do this, do that. Daddy told the responsible child. And you can't take that personal. Because we know you. Let me still read y'all stuff. Lost my uncle in the Canadian fires last week. Oh, man. Condolences, man. See, that's a tough one right there. That's a tough one. Man, all about the culture said what's best for me may not work for everyone else. Right? We different. You may be allergic to eating fish. Fish may break your face out. You be looking like Martin when he fought Tommy Hearns. But somebody else can eat all the same fish, all they want, the same thing. It doesn't bother them. We wired up different. So I can recognize your process. Okay, let me leave him alone. Let me leave her alone. Chewy OG, thank you for the love, man. I appreciate that. And why you worried about it? Deal with it the way you deal with it. You want to be the grief police. You want to be the grieving cops. Let me see who all crying. Make sure everybody in this funeral reacting the way they need to react. Man, you worry about you. Finders Keeper says, I believe the ones in the movie music industry that don't go with the flow become wackos or crazy. Well, they get labeled in a lot of cases to be wacko or crazy. That don't mean that they are. They tried to say Michael Jackson was crazy. Michael Jackson wasn't crazy. See? Once they turn against you, they control media. So they can package you and present you the same way they package you and present you in the beginning when they think they got you. They can repackage you, remix you, and represent you as something totally different once y'all are bumping heads with each other. So now you crazy. Why are you crazy now? Why is Michael Jackson crazy now? Now he's crazy because, oh, he woke up and saw their corruption. And he's not only waking up and seeing it, he exposed it. So, got to get rid of this guy. See, in a lot of cases, long before there is physical assassination, there's character assassination. Sometimes the character assassination precedes the physical assassination because they try to do it in a different way. They try, you know what? We'll turn the people against them, and we may do this as a warning. Maybe he'll get his mind right. Maybe she'll get her mind right and stop putting that stuff out there. We just smack him one time. But when you got somebody that ain't gonna bow down to the smack, then eventually they start putting things in motion to remove you physically. Wasn't nothing crazy about Michael Jackson. Wasn't nothing crazy about Prince and a lot of people that they try to do that to. You know, Cat Williams saw a lot of that perverted, nasty, sick Hollywood stuff that was going on. They brought him in too early. They let him in the mansion too early because they may have assumed, he's in now, he's with us, he can see. Yeah, y'all perverts in Hollywood, y'all better start vetting people. If y'all don't want to get exposed, y'all better start making sure that the people y'all are dealing with are with all that crap that y'all like to do, because somebody is going to come through the house, see what's going on, and they're going to leave and go tell it. Put y'all on blast. Cat didn't have no problems until he started putting Hollywood on blast. Y'all hit the like button if you haven't already, man, for those who are just coming in. But why would somebody want to hire somebody professional to come grieve at their funeral. That don't make. I ain't saying it ain't true. Hold on, we got Murder One in the building, man. Murder One dropping jewels too. He said they prey on the weak in a time of need, and that's a fact. You got people who try to exploit the grief and the pain of somebody who lost their loved one for various reasons. They just found out you about to get some insurance money. Uh-oh. They just found out mama left you the house. They just found out grandpa left you the land, the money, trying to get close to you. So the flip side is people who are trying to judge how you grieve. You got other people who will falsely sympathize with you while you grieving for real. Hey man, anything you need, just let me know. I got you. Anything you need, man. They already knew. So you got to be aware of that when you're dealing with your loss. And because the true person that's only focused on the fact that they lost their loved one, whatever that loved one left them, that is secondary. You got people who they know what the loved one got, and the loved one's still in the hospital, and they like, shh, man, what's taking them so long to die? Because they can't wait. They have no love for that person no more in this life. They like, I can't wait to get what they left me. I'm trying to get to that insurance, man. I'm trying to get to this free house. I'm trying to get to this car collection that Uncle Joe left. I could care less. But other people who are real, they're like, man, look, yeah, I know my mama had this. I know my daddy had that, but I don't care nothing about that. They feel bad that they lost their loved one. Mr. Monty says, I've seen so many fall when the deposits get real. Indeed. Hold on, let me catch up, man. I'm too far. I'm too far down the way. Let me catch up. Lou Hybrid said, do you think God would ever want you to inflict harm on yourself or give up on life? Absolutely not. See, in that time of weakness, where we want to give up because we lost somebody, we losing focus on God. I just told God is the only reality. You thank God for the time you had with her. Oh man, thank God. Thank God for the time you had with him, but understanding and knowing everything belongs to you, God. I have no say-so in the matter. Because if you had a say-so in the matter, you'd have kept your loved one here. You'd have healed them when they were sick. You'd have prevented them from going out and getting into the shootout. So you didn't have no control. But God has control. You thank him for the time. I want to shout out to my homie that we just lost, my big brother, one of my OGs from the dead end, South Park, my homie Big Webb, Big Patrick Webb. I got the news a couple of days ago that he just passed away. So I want to take this time to definitely, man, shout to a brother I've been knowing since I was 7 or 8 years old. And always rock with me, Big Webb. But the first thing I tried to do, my mind went straight into reflection when I got the news about my brother Big Webb. I was like, man, you start thinking about, and then one of the first things that I did think about was like, man, you know what? I'm glad I saw my brother recently. Saw my brother about 3-4 months ago. Went over to where he was. He was at another homie's house. I went over there and hung out with him for a little while, and I'm glad I did that now. Because before that, I hadn't seen or talked to him in a while. But I got a chance to talk to him and hang out with him for a few minutes. And you get the news, because you never know. But where it falls in that line, see, he's one of those dudes that I wouldn't be at the funeral breaking down and hollering, because in my mind, I know his spirit. He see, that's why the term changed over the years to a celebration of life, more so than just always focus on this mourning the death. It's a celebration of life. You think about all of the good things and the good times and all that. You think about all that, right? The good, the bad, the ugly, the funny stuff that you and your people laughed about and experiences y'all had. You're like, shh, I can't even tell nobody that. But it's funny. So when I seen, I'm gonna go back to DC Young Fly, when I saw him speaking about the mother of his children who was laying there in the casket, I didn't have no problem with nothing that he said. Because not knowing that man personally, but knowing his comedy, being a fan of his and how they get down, I have a little grasp on his personality. So if you are one way with a person in life, why would you be any different with them in death? Why would you be any different then? They wouldn't want you to be no different. If I thought he had a peanut head when he was alive, I still think he got one now. And I may say it, boy, he always had that little peanut head. Boy, look at it, he still got that peanut head. Come on, man. Don't tell nobody that he wasn't remorseful enough. You don't know them. Then if he's not remorseful enough in your eyes, oh, he sacrificed her. Well, y'all crazy, man. Y'all crazy, man. So Leslie says, I hadn't seen my brother in like 10 years because he was in prison, and now it's going on 8 years. Going on 8 years what? And a lot of times, man, people go through their process, and this is another thing that we got to be careful of this same topic. Because we can let people grieve the way they grieve. Sometimes we'll call ourselves, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna step back and I'm gonna let them grieve how they grieve. And that's good, but then we'll make the mistake of trying to put a time limit on it. Well, look, man, baby girl, it been 9 months now. Come on now. You still crying every day? Hey, if that's how she feels and she crying every day, she crying every day. You can't turn the faucet off on somebody else's tears. I'm just saying, man, it's been a year. Okay, that's her process. Maybe you didn't love him the way she did. Or maybe you did, but your process was different. Can't try to tell nobody, you need to hurry up and stop being sad. You want them to because you're concerned about them. You thinking about, hey man, you know, I'm starting getting worried about, you know. But most people, they pass through it. They all right. But people love differently than others. People love harder than others. There's people that it just devastates them, depending on who it is. Leslie said you can cry and be silent. Yeah. That's a different subject too. It's like you can't look. I encourage people to deal with it however they deal with it. But I also, you know, respectfully advise people, you know, don't suppress how you really feel to try to be hard. And a lot of times, a lot of men would do that. Sometimes women would do that if like I say, if they have to carry a load or something, or they got, you know, you got babies, you got to say, I gotta be strong. I gotta be strong for the family. Yeah, well, you make sure you get it out at some point, some way. Because yeah, you're right, you do gotta be strong for the family. But don't kill yourself by stressing. Hey man, y'all hit that like button, man. Click that thumbs up if y'all haven't already. I know I've been running my mouth, but click that like button, man, because I think this is a topic that a lot of people need to see. And the greater we can get the algorithm, I'm assuming, the more range we can get on this video and more people can see. Who knows, something that I say or something that y'all put in a comment might help somebody, you know. But you do yourself a disservice when you try to impose your way on somebody else. You can't do that. Can't do that. Let them go through their process the way they go through it. It's more than one way to get to one location a lot of times. If somebody gives you directions to their house, or if you look up directions to somebody's place or whatever, it may show you 3 or 4 or 5 alternate routes that you can take to get there, but they all get you there. So one may take a little longer. One may take, maybe it takes 22 minutes to get it going this way. Other one may take 30 minutes, you know, but the key is to get there. So if I get to a place where I can function again, I went through my process, don't try to trip on me because it took me a year to get back to normal and you did it in 2 weeks. I'm happy for you. But don't put that weight on me like that. Nate Joe says, ain't no telling how you'll deal with it until you go through it yourself. I can't stand folks that pass judgment. Yeah. I couldn't get over that. You telling people that you don't even know. Look, it's bad when you try to tell people that you do know how they should react. And you know them. But it's dumb. It's weird for me to hear people tell somebody that they don't even know personally how they should react. You don't know them people? Hold on, y'all. Something's bothering me. Okay, let's straighten this out. There we go. There we go. Being strong is a choice, and being broken is a choice. That's a slippery slope. Because while I agree in principle, I agree. Yeah, being strong is a choice and being broken is a choice. I get it. Because when you're in a weak state, you do have the ability in you to say, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna get up, make myself, because that's usually how it happens. A lot of times, man, you've been mourning and grieving and laying around crying for days and days and days. See, that's like being in a relationship. See, a relationship, a broken relationship or a ended marriage or relationship, that's kind of like a death in a different kind of sense. Like you've been with this person all this time, and then y'all break up, and you just shattered and hurt and broken hearted, and you just and you lay around for days and days and weeks sick behind this person. You're mourning the loss of that relationship. But for most people who don't flip out, for most people, a day comes where the sun shines in through the window and you just get up, you make yourself get up one day and say, you know what, I'm gonna get up, go in here and fix myself up, look in the mirror, I'm gonna get back out in this world and get back to living my life. That happens in a relationship sometimes, like I'm not gonna let this just sit on me for the rest of my life, because that's a form of death. You just lost that relationship. It's the same thought process when you lose somebody physically. It's like, you know what? This person wouldn't want me to just be like this, man. I've had people tell me, well, not tell me, but I've seen people talk about this where they've said they've been in that state and their loved one came to them in like a dream. It was like, hey, man, chill out, get up. And whether that was actually them or whether that was God putting that in their head or whether it was their own mind or whatever it is, that's a good thing to see. Because you may be feeling sorry for yourself, which is something we got to check, because you ain't the one laying in the box. You feeling sorry for yourself for. You still breathing. You still have life. You still have an opportunity. You still have good health. You still have a chance to fix whatever may be wrong with you. They don't. So what you feeling sorry for yourself for? Come on, man. But being broken, yeah. See, once you make the choice to be strong, you've removed the option of being broken. The two can't coexist. If I'm strong, I'm not broken. If I'm broken, I'm not strong. Jimmy says, what are your thoughts on jobs giving workers a week or two off for their parents passing away? I've always felt like people should have more time. Well, some people don't want more time. Some people don't take that much time. If a company gives a person a week or two off, especially two, that's a nice little time frame. But some people don't want to even be off that long, because again, the people who want to jump back in the mix and get on with life, they want to get on with life. And one thing that helps you to get on with your life is actually getting on with your life. You have to get up and begin the process, because the time moves slower when you just laying around the house, man. When you just sitting around just all day doing nothing, the time moves slower. when you have activities going on, you know, some people want to get back to work. Like, man, I took a week off. Some may go less than that, man, 2 or 3 days, or I get everything together, get the arrangements together, attend the service on that weekend. I'll be back at work Monday. Because some people, number one, like I say, they want to get that process of living again because they don't want to feel that pain, that grief. Like, let's just say, a good distraction. But other times, the reality is people got to get back to work. A lot of people don't have the luxury of being able to take a month off, take 2, 3 weeks off. A lot of people don't have that luxury. A lot of people, well, you know, hey, grandma gone, but I still got to pay these bills. These bills ain't going nowhere. Them bills ain't laying in the casket. I wish they was. We need to have a funeral for these bills. So a lot of times people get back to work because they want to, that idle time, man. When you got stuff on your mind and all you got is time to sit around and think about it, that ain't good. You got to get to moving around, man. You better go work out. You better go to a show. You better go hang out with your homies, your friends. You know, you can do something to get your mind off of it and become acclimated back into regular life. That's what you got to do. So when you reacclimate yourself back into regular life, then life starts to be normal because you get back into your routine again. It's gonna still be in your mind, but it's not going to be just pressing on your mind like it was in the beginning or like it would be if you just sitting around in the dark all day. Hey, Lemmy. Lemmy. See? But everybody's different. Because some people, like, man, I need a month. I don't want to go back right now. And even if they do go back, they go back for the reason I just mentioned, because we still got bills to pay. But the last thing you can ever do is try to tell somebody how they should feel about how they lost their loved one. I can't speak for you. The different levels of strength. This one was super strong. See, we can feel the same pain. We can feel the exact same pain over the loss of a loved one, but we just deal with it different. So you can't make the mistake of feeling like she don't care because she didn't cry like the other one cried. The other one was flipping tables over and all that. So she cared the most. No, that don't mean she cared the most. She just deal with it differently. She couldn't control her emotions like that one did. But inside, internally, the one that's sitting there calm and rocking back and forth, she going through it too. So don't try to pass that judgment like, oh, nah, yeah, see. Because they'll get into it with each other. You ain't love daddy like I love daddy. You ain't even cried at the funeral. Y'all better be careful with that. Y'all better be careful with that. You can't be the grieving police on people, man. Focus on your process. Get yourself together. You want to to be the police to tell me how I'm supposed to act. Just make sure I'm all right. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna check on you. But don't fix your mouth to tell me I ain't grieving right or I don't love my loved one because I cracked a joke at the funeral, a joke that I know my boy would have laughed at. Some people keep it real at the funeral. I love them kind of people. I love them kind of people that keep it real, that whether it's somebody get up and speak or whether it's the preacher. Because a lot of people that get up there and go into this little act, a little fake role, the people who really knew the person, they be like, man, that dude ain't like you. That ain't what he would have wanted. Those who may believe in that he went to a different place and say, he looking down on you right now. Or they'll say, I know he looking down right now and he's smiling. Now he looking down at you like, man, who even let her speak? Why is this dude even speaking at my funeral? You got the funeral because this your opportunity to wear that outfit you've been wanting to wear. You at the funeral because you trying to get close to her husband now. You trying to Bobby Womack him. You trying to Bobby Womack your boy. Y'all know that story then. Like, I ain't got time to look at it. I ain't got time to speak on. Go look at my podcast, Underground Dialogue Podcast, and just type in Bobby Womack. I told that story on there. And in the case of young children, they don't always understand. Some do. But I seen children at funerals lost their mind. They just sitting there like, I don't even know what's going on. They know what's going on, but it's coming too fast. Like man, what's is this really real? And everybody come on, I'm gonna be there for you. You can call your auntie. Y'all better get that part understood. So people always talk about giving flowers, right? I got a song called Flowers. Y'all go watch the video. But people always talk about giving flowers. Man, you gotta give them their flowers, man. You gotta give them their flowers. And that's true, yeah, absolutely. Because giving people their flowers, it puts you at peace if the day come, God forbid, where something happens. Because you knew that you showed that person in every kind of way how you felt about them. There was nothing left on the table. But a lot of us in our hard-hearted mentality, it may be somebody you ain't really cool with no more, family member you don't really rock with no more, but you still love them, but you won't give it up. You still playing that hard role that still, then something happened and you never got a chance to clean that up. So now you're dealing with the pain of the loss mixed in with the guilt. Now you're feeling guilty. Oh, man, I should have called him. Oh, man. We got into it right before it happened. Oh, man. And certain things, beyond your control, but you want to know that that person knew. I don't care if we did get into it right before it happened. That was just, we always get into it. That was just something that happened, but they knew. They knew. They knew that your boy had love. The timing was just bad on what happened, but It wasn't no situation where, hey, well, we ain't spoke in 4 years because I cracked a joke about his tennis shoes and he got mad. And nah, man, get off that. Paston, I hope I pronounced it right. Appreciate the donation. Appreciate the love, man. He said, a person I knew from Thailand said everybody dressed in white at funeral, and it was more celebration. Says, when I die, I want everybody having a party. Yeah, people look at it differently, you know. See, there is a science in like color schemes and things of that nature and all that. And it's also a deception in it as well. So people say, well, man, you know, black represents death. Like, man, forget y'all. Black represents life. You know, it's traditional. People say, well, you know what, people wear black at the funeral and all. Okay. But whatever floats your boat, if wearing white, which has been traditionally celebrated as, okay, like you wear at a wedding or celebrate a festive celebration, okay, that's cool. Whatever you think that person wanted to make them happy or make them look and say, okay, yeah, celebrate me like that. Don't mourn me, celebrate me. Well, you can't really necessarily tell people not to mourn you because they sad that they're not going to ever see you again. You gone. You out of there. Out of there like toe up underwear. But again, like I said, to shake that off and focus on two things. Focus on the creator that blessed you with that the gift of that person, and ask him to give you the strength to move on without that person. And then you got this whole library of memories in your mind now. That's all you're doing right now. All you're doing right now with your loved one, you building up a library, a catalog of memories that are designed to strengthen you if that day comes. Designed to strengthen you. Give you something to laugh at. A year from now, you think about them and you think about that time they the pinata, they try to swing at the pinata and the pinata popped them in the head and everybody started laughing, whatever. See? But you got to build up the good stuff. Don't waste time building up a bunch of bad memories, because that's what makes you be like, pfft. I know people that have resentment towards people that died and the person been gone, and you still have resentment and hate towards that person like he's still alive, still giving you problems in your life. It's like, man, you gotta let that go. They ain't here no more. They gone. You still talking crazy about them. Get that off you. That ain't even on them no more. Regardless, if even what you were saying about them was true, why you still carrying that? Why would you be carrying it even if the person is still alive and y'all don't deal with each other? You just won't let that go. They gone. It's over with. You moved on, right? So if you still holding that and still bringing it up to people, then you ain't moved on. Because if the person have been that terrible to me and I move on, I don't care what they doing now. And I'm not going to spend my life dwelling on what they might have did to me. But when a person passed away and you still on it, hey man, the game over at that point, man. The game is over. And there's a respect for the dead that I just believe in. I just believe in that. Jay Skywalker says death usually brings out the worst from the family, first-hand experience. Yeah, y'all want to hear about that, man? I got a song. I got a song about that. How many of y'all really rock with me? Put in the chat the name of the song I got about family members tripping after somebody passed away. Who know the title of that song? Before I type it in, who tell people who don't know the title of that song so they can go listen to it. I got a whole song where I talk about that. Real gutter music. There it is. What's up, gutter? My brother from another. So y'all know. Go listen to the song Family Fools. And it'll tell you everything you need to know about that mindset. Yeah, Wilder, I got a lot of songs, but see, my people know. The people who know. That's why I just put it out there like that. Because, yeah, I got a lot of songs, but the people who rock with me, they know. That's why you see them putting it in the comments. The people who listen, they know the song. See? Hey, man, if y'all haven't hit the like, hit it for your big brother. We talking about the grieving process and how you should never try to judge people and tell them how they should grieve a loss of a loved. I don't care if it's a dog. We got to stop making a mistake of thinking that everybody thinks or should think the way we think. Everybody don't think the way you think. We might think similar in a lot of ways, and okay, yeah, I agree with that. I disagree with that. I agree with that. But everything, especially things like this, things that everybody go through, is not a set general template that we all follow. Cry for 3 hours, lay down, cry for 2 more. Nah, everybody do it different. There's people that go out and party right after the funeral. And we going to the club tonight. Cause I know my boy, that's what he would have wanted. Yeah, man, y'all go watch the Flowers video. Y'all go listen to the song Family Fools. Yeah. Give me 16 more likes, man. I get out y'all way. Because your big brother's getting hungry. And I got a game tonight. I got a game tonight and I'm hungry. It's a bad situation. Blood makes you related. Loyalty makes you family. I got a song about that too. It's called All Blood Ain't Family. I'll give y'all that one. For those of y'all who just coming in, go back to the beginning and y'all will get a lot of the information that we was dropping on this subject. Let me explain something. You never get over the loss of a loved one. My saying is, you never heal, you just learn how to deal. See? You don't ever heal. You just learn how to deal. You just cope with it better as time goes on. But how can you heal fully unless the love leaves your heart, or leaves your body, leaves your mind for that person? And that's not going to happen unless you never really loved them in the first place. I'm going to do my best to win, man. It's first day of the season, first game of the season. Give me 12 more likes, man. If y'all ain't hit the like button, y'all hit it. Once we get to 100, I can go get me some food. Y'all trying to keep me from eating? Y'all trying to keep your big brother from eating? Y'all wouldn't do that to me. I really don't like to eat before I play basketball. So I'm caught up in a bad dilemma. Yeah, Magnetica. Go listen to Barbecue Play. Man, I got enough songs for y'all, man. Go listen to a song I got called Barbecue Plates. But it's a different type of subject, but you know. Bean pie has my curiosity. Bean pie got my curiosity too, because I got one in the kitchen. Yep. Yeah. You sent 333. 333 can't even buy you a side these days. $3.33. You walk in a fast food joint with 333, they gonna laugh at you. I appreciate all the love. It's that lemon sour diesel. Thank you for blessing the day with your, oh man, God is great, brother. Appreciate you blessing us with your presence and all of y'all. Jado in the building. What's up, Jado? Y'all drop y'all locations, man. We almost on the way out, man. Drop your location and give me 10 more likes. We at 90. If 10 of y'all haven't hit the thumbs up, do so right now. Drop y'all locations, man. Let me shout y'all out real quick. Steve, what's up, Steve? Steve in for the long run, man. Out there in Canada. Wanda G, Mississippi. Jado out in D-Town. Which D-Town, Jado? You in Dallas or Detroit? You know, they both called D-Town. King of Women, 23 in Pennsylvania. Jimmy in Alabama. What up, Jimmy? Magneticus Attractus. PNW, what's that? My mind escaping me. Young Stacks in Memphis. Mr. Monty. What is that? What is that, man? I'm sorry. I'm slow today. Honeybee Lee in Detroit. Real good out in San Antonio. Had a good time, man, the other week, man. Appreciate you coming through and hanging with your big brother, brother. Accepting Who I Am, Mississippi. Nate Joe out there in Dickinson. What's up, Nate Joe? Let him know. RJ in Delaware. Na Maria in New Jersey. Jado in Dallas. Jado, you coming to the show in Dallas, man? We'll be out there on the 24th. We'll be in Dallas on the 24th, Jado. Come hang with your brothers, man. Come check us out. It's going to be an early concert. It's going to be like 9 to midnight. We're going to be in and out. I'll get the information to y'all. Oh, Pacific Northwest. Psh, my bad. 1993 homie in the Bay Area. Give me 7 more likes, y'all. Connie Harge out there in San Diego. Wyland is out there in Michigan. Appreciate the love. 7 more likes, y'all. 7 more likes. And I can eat. I don't know if I want to eat before I play. It's that, and the winner is that's Shara, Oklahoma City. Robert Sanders in Cincinnati. WKRP in Cincinnati. Y'all don't remember that. 4 more likes, man. We almost there. Money Up Records in St. Louis. Mr. Monty out there in Florida. Oh, that's what it is. 3 more likes, man. We almost there, man. We at the finish line. We can see it. We can touch it. But man, go back and watch this video. Share it with people. Spread it. Let people see it. Because we don't want to make that mistake, man. You could actually lose somebody by doing that. By trying to push them and rush them through their grieving process. You can't do that. Steve Rio says, picture yourself with it before you physically handle it. That's right. Gotta manifest those thoughts manifest the abstract into this concrete. Memphis, Tennessee. Appreciate that, Young Stacks. We got 3 more likes to get, man. Y'all holding me hostage with 3 likes. Y'all holding me hostage with 3 likes. I had a brother, shout out to my brother Nazir. He makes really good bean pies. And he told me one time, he said, man, I want you to make a song about the bean pie. I still haven't done it yet. But yeah, Magneticus is coming. Because to make a song about the Navy bean, that's what I need to do. I need to make a song about the actual Navy bean, which the bean pie is used. That's the bean that the bean pie is made from, the Navy bean. And it's really, really healthy and nutritious. 2 more, man. And y'all being stingy with them likes. 1 more. We almost there. Accepting who I am said that supreme bean pie hit different. Boy, do it. Ding, 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 ding. And right when we mentioned that bean pie, we hit that 100, man. Hey, man, we appreciate the love, man. Thank y'all. Y'all be safe. Take care of yourself. And I will be getting at y'all real soon with another one, man. Much love.